But it's a journey. It's easy to share it. To talk about the virtual perspective. But when you're there, you're stressful. You're coming to meeting. You don't know what to do. How to deal with this type of person traditionally, and you need to learn. You need to know also to ask questions. And sometimes they like this Israeli way that we are very direct. Sometimes you need to be sensitive, but sometimes this direct help to get things sooner, better, and much more precise and accurate than going around in the culture that you need to be very careful.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley, in partnership with Leumi Tech, sponsored by Homeward Ventures, Hippo Insurance, Upwest Labs, Synergy Global, Hillel at Stanford, Leap, Birthright Excel, Serona Partners, and in media partnership with C-Tech. Welcome to another episode of 20-Minute Leaders. Today, I am with Sharon Alalouf, Vice President of Business Development APAC, Cellwize. Sharon, a mother to 3 amazing boys and a spouse who's a successful artist, fortunate with them, follow her to the other side of the world to explore the global business scene while enjoying the multicultural experience of Asia. She is proud that she moved from her comfort zone and managed to have a triple career transformation: local to global, technology to business, and customer side to vendor side. More than 20 years of divertive career inspired by leaders that shape and highlight the importance of believing in herself and her achievements. Currently, she is the Vice President of Business Development at Cellwize. Well, Sharon, you have a fascinating journey, and I want to sort of piece it together over these 20 minutes. But really, my goal here is to understand this bigger question of open-mindedness and living life in an extraordinary way. And just from a few minutes understanding of from you explaining to me what your life is like, it sounds to me like it's almost as if you've uncovered something very foundational to what it means for some people to be human, and you're exercising it in a really authentic and amazing way. So, Sharon, tell me just a little bit about, yourself and a little bit about your career trajectory, just so that we understand the high-level pieces, and then we'll piece them together.
Sure. So we'll start from the end. So today I'm living here with my family. I have 3 boys, 18, 16, and 12. We live in Bangkok. We live in Asia for the last 6 years. We started our relocation journey in Singapore for 3 years, which was an amazing experience. Then we moved to Bangkok. Then COVID joined us. And in the last 3 years, we live here, amazing, in the heart of the city of Bangkok. Managing, international life, expat life, with all the meanings. And yes, I can say that I'm trying to look back, one of the funniest things that we are looking at when you are going to vacation, and my first trip after the army in 1996 was in Thailand. If you will ask me back then, if I can imagine myself living here with my family and running a career, it was kind of a joke for sure. And sometimes, I'm sending photos for my friend that did with me this backpacking tour. And you can't imagine, I hear in copy paste, see, it's the same street we used to go. It's just a bit renovated, so it's kind of unbelievable. And yes, I look at where we are. It's kind of transformation of career. I started my journey back in the 2000, that when the market in Israel was booming, with all these high-tech scene. Every several years there is high-tech scene, so I'm old enough to share the 2000 experience. We just graduating, it was an amazing opportunity in the market. I started my journey in a startup company called Cellwize, called GoNext. Then we've been acquired by Telephone, and then most of my career was technology career. I used to manage the R&D department there for all the value-added services. So imagine we started with the black and white mobile phone till to the journey to the iPhone. And most of my activities was around, R&D, managing several teams. And I ran, all this unit that was responsible for all the thing that today is come kind of obvious, but all the music's application before Spotify, all the Super TV before Netflix, all this was, a technology that we ran almost more than 10 years ago. So it was really amazing, a technology journey. And then I think more than 8 years, 9 years, I decided that, this is the time to do the transformation. I think I take it step by step. I was not imagine where I'm going to. And then I decided I call it the triple transformation. So moving from being a customer most of the year that all the vendor is running around you and share with you technology and you need just to pick and choose per your strategy, to be a vendor, to be the one that is running after and scouting out after new customers. From a local company, Israel, telephone was Israeli company, everything was in Hebrew, all the scenes was in Hebrew, except some meetings, with international vendors, to global company when everything, is around the globe and you're traveling, you go and back on a weekly basis. And also from technology activities that I used to run, big and huge projects of millions of tens of millions of dollars, to run a business that need to bring millions of dollars. And it was kind of, it was not easy in the beginning. You need, it's a different mindset. It's a different, state of mind, how to craft, how to build it from scratch. I came to Amdocs to build a digital business unit, which was, something we have been kind of a mini startup in the big giant Amdocs. And we had the very successful activities in very short time. So we grew quickly from, I started by myself, and then after 4 months, we've been, kind of 25 people. I can tell it one of my wow moment. After 3 months, I need to go to partner with two big partners. One of them was Adobe. When I went to meet them in their offices in Manhattan, it's kind of, I can't believe I'm here. And with Frog Design, which is kind of, it was enough for me from the Israeli scene to go to work with such big brands and do business with them in the digital. And I'm telling you, it's 8 years ago. Today, digital is everywhere. But even then, it was something that it was kind of unique in the telecommunication business. And it was really amazing experience. I learned a lot. And then, kind of, okay, after 1.5 years, I say, okay, so what's next? We know how to travel every week to another place in the globe. What we'll do now? And then I told my boss, which was inspiring one, he gave me a lot of, things, to have to build all this, business, that I want to relocate. He told me, okay, so Canada, he had some business in AT&T. I don't know. Asia. I say, Asia, really? Where? It's Singapore. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, let's build you a position. So in 3-4 months, I found myself with my family in Singapore. Shocking in the beginning, but Singapore is embracing. Is kind of, is the Manhattan of Asia. Very fortunate, to start a relocation in such place. We had amazing trees. In the beginning also you need to start to come to the office. Everyone, very few Israelis you will get used to. Need to work, with people around the globe. Need to understand culture, to be sensitive for all this stuff. To start to build relationship with customer, it's
We're gonna pick up exactly where we left off. But what I do want to also understand, Sharon, is this idea of open-mindedness. So you're describing career-wise this notion that you have inside of you that it's okay to make transitions, it's okay to think different, it's okay to develop different understandings and to jump into uncharted territory, whether it be business opportunities, going from local to global, changing languages, changing cultures, whether it be even relocating. And what I'm trying to piece at right now is sort of what is inhibiting us, foundationally from being open to these types of changes, and what was sort of the internal motivation that allowed you to make those leaps eventually?
First, to move. You need to move. It's everything. Every time you are kind of surprised from experience, from the thing that you have not get used to. It's starting from the day by day, the school activities and your work environment, and you just need, to just flow with it. And sometimes it's stressful. You need to make sure that you're doing the right step, that you are in the right place, that you are not. It's okay to it's okay not to control everything like you get used to before, not in your own a natural environment. And once you're accepting it, and you understand people accepting it, because I think also the nice place to start relocation in Singapore, that most of your environment are expats. They are similar like you. They're most likely experience similar challenges that you're experienced. And once you succeed, to find this common discussion, and you're putting it aside and running, to the main thing that you came to do, to do the business, it's become it's starting to feel natural. But it's a journey. It's easy to share it, to talk about the virtual perspective. But when you're there, you're stressful. You're coming here to meeting. You don't know what to do, how to deal with this type of person, traditionally. And you need to learn. You need also to ask questions. And sometimes they like this Israeli way that we are very direct. Sometimes you need to be sensitive, but sometimes this direct help to get things sooner, better, and much more precise and accurate than going around in the culture that you need to be very careful. But you need to be careful, you need to learn it, but you need also sometimes, to dare and to do it. And, worst case scenario, you will need to do it, again, or to apologize and to do it, in different angle. But, yes, it is something that you need, to adapt. And every time, once you're in Singapore, usually most of the position in Singapore are a regional position. Which means it's not about understanding the Singaporean, understanding the Filipino, understanding, the Indian, understanding, traveling to Australia, the Japanese. So it's a multicultural business environment that you need to adapt, and you need to make sure that you understand, to avoid basic mistakes that you can do potentially. And today it's a global scene. I think, if you will ask me, I used to work 20 years ago in Intel. They used to train the people what to do when you're traveling to Japan. Today, in the global world that, everything is open, everything is exposed to you, you need to do it by yourself. So it's kind of make sure that you come prepared. And sometimes you're running many things in parallel, so you need to juggle between all this. But it's there, and they're still expecting you to act like this. Even today, when I starting, discussion with Japanese, and I work, for example, with my agent, they kind of give us, kind of direction. Please do that, don't do that. They are getting insulted if you will do that. So I'm trying, to get their guidance, to make sure that we are doing the things right first, and not, wasting our going rounds, or making, some impolite discussion that are not relevant.
Right, and you probably also, you learn as you travel and as you relocate and continue through these transitions. I'm guessing that besides, the ability to adapt to new cultures, you also develop an understanding and um, a deeper understanding that the way that you're acting in one way may be perceived differently by the person on the other end, and so it's important for you to sort of be this investigator wherever you go to figure out, okay, how is my personality now going to be translated to this culture? And even asking this question, it's not a trivial thing to do, because we're used to being around people that that are like us or that know us, because this is where we grow up, and not everybody moves like you throughout the world. So I think there is an interesting personal insight to be taken here from this curiosity, this questioning of self.
Yes, first, first thing is always to smile to them. Then you are trying, to break the the ice. When you're meeting people, it's more usually easy to start, but you need to understand. For example, in Thailand, I managed to understand that the hierarchy is very important. We are coming with a culture that is no hierarchy. And when you are trying, to continue on this manner, it sometimes not work. They may even not appreciate it as you want that they will appreciate you that in the level that you are coming to discuss with people. So I can tell you that it's something, it's ongoing. You always need to be sensitive. Sometimes if you want to arrange a call with someone executive, you cannot call him by yourself. If you will do it, it's kind of, you are it's your downgrade you. So it's things that in the today in our environment, when we are working in a big company, small company, we are not yet used to. I have my secretary, I have my team, and here sometimes it's yes traditional, and you need to play the game. And sometimes they say, okay, but why? Let's do direct. Let me WhatsApp you and let's jump on a call because I want it today, not in 3 weeks when you will be. So you always need to 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 understand that patience sometimes is the key to get things. And I also one of the important thing we manage to know that it's kind of timing and to be very patient because things are not getting working in the pace that you want them to be. The environment, the business environment in Asia is slow, and you cannot understand why. Every time asking, but what is the compelling event? How come you are not patient to close it, tomorrow and start to save money and start to improve everything? This is the way the business, and I'm always questioning myself and try to politely question them. How come we are dealing with such topic for more than, for months? So thing that you need, always, to control yourself, to understand that this is the environment scene, and you need to play accordingly in order to continue become and being relevant for the prospects and the customers that you are working with and for.
So I want to wrap up the conversation about moving and about open-mindedness and the dynamics, talking a little bit about the family side of things. Because until now, we understand, yes, it's difficult to do it both professionally and personally and asking the right questions, etc. But when you have a family with husband and 3 kids and you're still managing to maintain this open-mindedness, how does that work? What is that like?
Well, if you will ask them today, what is there in our experience for the last 6 years, and if they are kind of happy from this move, so the answer will be totally. And every time we are challenging them, even so I can tell you there are some challenges, being here comparing to the regular environment, that they get used to in Israel. It's different in the international scene. However, the fact that kind of they are kind of global children that going to international school and having friends from people around the globe, it's a gift. It's a gift, in the second year of my son when he was in 7th or 8th grade, they have kind of debates, and he need to defend Iran, which is amazing that Israel, student need to defend. It's kind of you say wow, and it come with a lot of good arguments. So it's like they don't care about what we dealing on and by the day what they get used to hear, and their mindset is different. The way they're talking about global things are kind of fascinating. And yes, it's not obvious. Even so, we are get used to it. That everyone is kind of engaged. I think the experience we had from the family perspective, traveling around, Asia, like before COVID, it was kind of every 3 months you're exploring New Zealand, Australia. It's amazing family bonding that you have. Yet, the family in Israel is always every year say, okay, so what's next when you're coming back? And you say, okay, but maybe next year, maybe. But from the family perspective, it's kind of bonding. We managed also to build, also here and also in Singapore, kind of, friends that become family. I'm usually every Friday night in my house is more than 20, 25 people that everyone will feel always at home with their natural environment, with friends. And at the end of the day, we are far from the real family, and it's important, to make sure that the holidays and Saturday and weekend become cozy as they get used to. And every time I'm hearing them, I think that how they developed over the 6 years. It's really, we are really lucky to get this opportunity to get to this journey. For me, I feel natural that we are already here, but every time that I'm coming to Israel, people ask me about, the experience, how you are dealing with all this, the life, the lifestyle. It's really fun to have also people, friends, that came from different people from Indonesia. You have friends from India, and understand better culture, get much more interesting discussion sometimes that you not get used to.
I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I really, really love it. That's
I
really,
wouldn't change
really
anything.
incredible.
If you will ask me again, like, wow, again, let's start over.
I think it's really, really incredible, and I'm personally taking a lot of inspiration from it, and the open-mindedness, and I love the note about conversations and about getting exposed to different people, asking different questions that we don't normally get to ask in our day to day. And so, Sharon, I really want to thank you for spending this time with me. It's a fascinating journey, both professionally and also personally. And I wish you best of luck with Cellwize and everything else that you'll do. And until then, stay safe and stay healthy, and continue traveling, continue making amazing experiences for you and your family. It's really remarkable. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity. I hope this will inspire the other families, mostly women, to take, to be courageous enough, to take their family and, go to adventure, and that just, flow with them, and, just good things happening when you are getting out from your comfort zone.
I love it. Thank you, Sharon. Take care.
Great. Thank you very much.